Hey everybody, I'm Todd Anderson.
And I'm Todd Stevens.
And you're watching the Versus series by StarCityGames.com. So this week on the Versus series, Todd Stevens and I are going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of our normal gauntlet where we take a new deck that's been cropping up in Modern, we're actually going to be experimenting with the Modern ban list. Now, Splinter Twin is a card that was put on the ban list right before Eldrazi Winter. It's fairly fresh in most Modern players' minds as a deck that kind of just killed them out of nowhere in a lot of spots while playing this really powerful control game for the most part. I know you in particular have some very strong feelings about Splinter Twin, so feel free to talk about that.
Yeah, I never enjoyed the gameplay of Splinter Twin. I didn't think it was very fun. I thought it was just like, oh yeah, like we're playing like this game of Magic and we're like going back and forth with all this stuff, and then the game's just over. And
Yeah.
I never felt like I enjoyed my experience after. I was just like, okay, yeah, the game's over, I guess. You know, whether I've played Splinter Twin in a couple tournaments before or played against it, it's always just like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, you're dead now.
Yeah, the powerful 2-card combo makes infinite either Deceiver Exarchs or Pestermites along with the card Splinter Twin, for those of you who are unfamiliar. And this card, I don't think it was ever truly dominant as an archetype. Like it was, for me, it was more like the policeman of the format. Like it would come in, it would make sure that certain decks did not get too out of hand. And ever since Splinter Twin was banned, we've seen, kind of this expansion of Modern where decks just continually get less and less interactive. And I think that, that's not great, but it's not a bad thing. People get to basically play whatever they want.
Yeah.
When Splinter Twin was in the format, you basically could play whatever you wanted, but you'd probably lose to Splinter Twin if it was too degenerate, just because the interaction like Spell Pierce or Dispel, Remand, Cryptic Command, removal spells, using Deceiver Exarch and things to tap down lands to slow you down, coupled with a very fast and consistent combo of a kill on turn 4, was enough to really just hammer these archetypes that weren't trying to interact, and it punished people for not trying to interact.
Yep.
Ever since it was banned, though, decks like In fact got a lot better, but then like it kind of fell off too. Just these really fast combo decks, like even Ironworks combo, I think would just get slaughtered. And is that on the docket for this week? I know that you picked the decks that I'm playing against this week.
No, we do not have Ironworks.
I love beating Ironworks.
Yeah, we don't have that.
But yeah, this week we are going to be running Splinter Twin through the gauntlet, and we will probably do this with other cards on the ban list in the near future. We're not getting too wild with the Splinter Twin deck. I know that when Splinter Twin was in Standard, people did all sorts of stuff. There was like a Jeskai Kiki Jiki Restoration Angel version. Mm-hmm. There was a Grixis version that played things like Tasigur, Gurmag Angler, and then my favorite was a Teamer version that played Tarmogoyf. And things have changed a lot since Splinter Twin was banned. And personally, I think that the best version of this deck is likely a Grixis control deck revolving around Jace the Mind Sculptor and Fatal Push. Like, I think those cards are just fantastic for this archetype. We don't have those in this version because we're just playing the stock blue-red twin just to see if the other decks can compete. And if I get beat 3 matches, I'm just going to conclude the Splinter Twin should be unbanned. Just going to throw that out there. We picked 5 of the best decks in Modern to throw against it. Let's see what happens.
All right. Let's go. How do you want to do it?
Do high roll.
Okay.
All right. Do high roll to see who goes first.
Got a 5.
Ooh,
Whoa.
12. Wow, that's good. That's
Splinter
a good way.
Twin's so good.
Yeah, Splinter Twin just lets me roll 12.
How high that roll
That's a good way
is.
to start the day. Now, I don't want you to tell me what you're playing if you don't want to tell me what you're playing. But
Okay.
well, my hand's a mulligan. I have no lands, so go ahead and talk about your deck while I shuffle my deck and take a mulligan.
Yeah, well, my deck has a bunch of very deadly creatures in it, and
Nice.
we're gonna.
It's like an infect strategy.
It may be. We have some 1-drops, and so this is definitely a keep over on our side. So yeah, like with Splinter Twin, before how you said it was like the police of the format, it basically like forced every deck to have some kind of way to interact with creatures at instant speed. So like it kind of did kill off like the decks that didn't have ways to interact with creatures at instant speed. And I agree with Sam Black. He wrote in a Fact or Fiction article that the golden age of Modern started whenever Splinter Twin was unbanned or was banned, and I agreed with that.
This is not a great 6, but we are going to keep it since we're on the play and we got half our combo.
Okay.
So let's take a look in a book. We're going to put this one on bottom. It's just a extra piece of the combo. Your turn.
I would like to name humans.
Okay, that solves that mystery really quickly.
I think you probably know what deck I'm playing.
All right, your turn.
Also humans with Cavernous Souls. Cavern's a great draw here against the blue-red deck. And actually we're gonna go this way. I'm gonna start with Champion of the Parish.
All right, so I'm not gonna get any chance to remand this otherwise because of Cavernous Soul, so we're gonna go ahead and remand that right now.
Okay. And then I'm gonna use my mana because I'm gonna still want to be able to double spell next turn. I'm gonna play Meddling Mage and name Lightning Bolt.
Okay,
go ahead. Because you look like a blue-red control deck there. That'd probably Lightning Bolt my stuff.
Go.
I wonder if I'm supposed to just name Deceiver at Jerk, but I guess like I wouldn't really know that you're twin from just here. All right, let's try this again. Champion.
Sure.
And then take a pain and play Mantis Rider.
Mantis Rider resolves. You're at 19.
And then go to combat.
All right, I'm gonna tap this. I'm gonna get an island.
So attacking with the Meddling Mage doesn't really do a ton for us, as it's it would be a 3/3 up against a 1/4. 4 toughness. Why do they have 4 toughness?
So it couldn't get hit with Lightning Bolt. It was actually a card that they printed, and I don't know this 100%, but it had 4 toughness when Lightning Bolt was in standard.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna play a Desolate Lighthouse and say go. I could have killed him if I just had Splinter Twin, but mulligan to 6, and this is part of playing a 2-card combo deck. Sometimes you draw a lot of one half and not the other. Take another point.
Yeah, or I guess I don't need to take the point.
Okay.
So use Cavern for blue and Reflector Mage.
All right, Reflector Mage will resolve.
Well, I'll target the one thing I can target.
All right, in response to the target, I'm going to play a Deceiver Exarch and tap this.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and then combat, I'll get in with both creatures. Do you want to block the 3/3?
No.
Take 2?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were just going to attack with a champion. I actually think you should just.
Oh, yeah, because actually, it's going to be a 4/4. Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah.
So you take 4, go to 16, and I'll take
15 from a fetch.
Okay. And then I'm going to take a pain and go to 18 and get this Ether Vial down.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Turn 4 Ether Vial. That's usually when you want it.
This is usually the most terrifying part for the opponent because I could just peel a Splinter Twin at any point and just kill him right on the spot. We didn't draw it. Now, Reflector Mage is... So I couldn't main phase of Deceiver Exarch here, but because of how Reflector Mage works, I can cast it on his turn. So that's good for me, and I'll say go. Probably just keep this Mantis Rider down.
Upkeep?
Mm-hmm.
I'll play Kite Sail Freebooter.
I'm just gonna... Well, I can cycle a remand, but it can't be countered, but I could just get it, but I could just draw a land and then he takes nothing, but if I draw Splinter Twin, then I can't bolt, so that's bad. I think I'll just cycle.
Okay.
Let's see, I can take a pretty big chunk here because I have 2 Exarchs. So this is going to be a 4. It's going to be 7 that I don't really want to block. I'm going to play an Exarch. I'm going to untap this, and I'm going to play an Opt.
Okay.
Crap. So I'm going to leave Splinter Twin on top, and he's going to take it with Freebooter. That way, if I draw a Dismember or a Cryptic Command, I can maybe unlock it at some point. So, is that even worth it? Maybe it is. Like, if I draw a Snapcaster Mage, that doesn't really... I can snap Opt. Just trying to figure out if that's worth it, because I only have 1 Dismember, 2 Cryptic Commands, but you're going to tick up that to 2 before I can really do anything with it.
Yeah, maybe just keep it in your deck and find a fetch land.
Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. Boop. All right.
Let's tilt. So, I'm going to be nice and just let you keep all your cards.
Yeah.
So, I'll crack this.
All right.
All right, so combat. We'll get on in there. I guess we get in there with the Reflector Mage
I
also.
can just block both. Yeah.
This is a 4/4 now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna block this, so I'm just gonna block this. I guess.
Yeah.
Because you can't attack with this, because I'll.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I cannot attack with this.
Right, so I'll take 7. I'm at 8.
So attacking or not attacking doesn't really matter there. Go ahead with the Reflector Mage.
Not sure if I should use this flooded strand or not. The life point might end up mattering.
Well, you will be able to. You can put like get that Splinter Twin. You know that's on the bottom. Put that back in the library.
Yeah.
Keep 2. So we're down to 8, and I know your hand is another Deceiver. We're gonna use Cavern and play a Mana Strider.
That resolves.
Go to combat.
All right, I'm gonna fetch and then Cryptic to tap draw.
Oh no!
Now we're looking for like Snapcaster Mage to help us keep tapping and drawing until we draw Splinter Twin. The problem is at any point he could draw something off Ether Vial like Meddling Mage, Phantasmal Image to copy Meddling Mage, something like that, and just name Splinter Twin, and then I can't Bolt and I can't Splinter Twin, and then I just need to find my one of Dismember or another Snap or Cryptic Command. All right, so that's gonna put us to 7 from the fetch.
Yep. Okay, your turn.
Go.
Yep. So Todd drew from Cryptic Command there, and then drew for turn. If you were thinking he drew 2 cards, he only draw. That's what those cards are coming from. All right, let's put that here.
True dat.
No, it's better to Vial. Actually, no. Sorry. Bugler.
Yeah.
Well, I could take a Ziggurat, an Unclaimed Territory, an Ether Vial, or a Ziggurat, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Cedric Phillips is right. If that was all a Heretic Cathar, I couldn't combo kill you, so.
Yeah. We'll name Eldrazi.
No, you should name Image or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'll name Human still. I'll just keep it on Human. All right, go to combat.
All right, I'm going to snap Cryptic.
Okay. So the team is
Tap
tapped.
draw. Yep.
Your turn.
All right. During my upkeep, I'm going to tap your Ether Vial.
I will activate it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll draw for turn.
Yep.
I drew a Splinter Twin. I'm going to kill you.
Dang. Yeah, the upkeep tap my Ether Vial was really nice because I did have the Reflector Mage. So that was a good play. Good play.
That's actually come up before, not necessarily tapping on upkeep, but like I've had Splinter Twin in hand before and drawn a Pestermite, and like if I could tap their like one of their lands or something during my draw step, and that would keep them from being able to counterspell my Splinter Twin. So like that's a neat little trick you can do, either upkeep or draw step. Use this to tap one of their mana sources or whatever. But yeah.
I don't have a lot of sideboarding to do for this matchup, but what I want to do is kind of take out some of my slower 3-drops. Even though Reflector Mage can get Vialed in and protect us from the combo, that's not always reliable, and we have to have a Vial, and without a Vial, it's just not going to really do very much.
Right.
And then Bugler is going to be a little slow here. I think we're going to want to be pretty aggressive because Todd has the inevitability of the combo. So we're going to have a few ways to stop the combo. Dismember is a nice clean answer. Auric Champion, not nearly as clean, but it would prevent the 1/4 from killing us, Deceiver Headshark from killing us.
Mm-hmm.
And then Distant Collector is just a very powerful card against decks with tons of spells. And Gaddock Teeg, we saw the Cryptic Command really hurting us there that last game. Gaddock Teeg would shut that off, and the Splinter Twin, and maybe other options in Todd's deck that he may have after sideboarding.
Right. From my side, counterspells are not usually very good against humans. Not only do they have Ether Vial, but they also have Cavern of Souls. They can also get under your counter spells a lot of times when they're on the play with just an early Noble Hierarch into something like a turn 2 Mantis Rider. So in order to fight that, we're going to be cutting all 6 of our counter spells. The remands are usually for matchups where your opponent has a slower deck, like you want it more against like things like Tron, control decks, mid-range decks. Dispel is more when you're playing against decks with heavy interaction removal or just a bunch of instants that you can counter if they're playing a combo deck. And Spellskite, very similarly to Dispel, is much better when they're trying to interact with you and you want ways to stop it. We're going to be bringing in, basically we're turning into a Blue Moon deck of sorts with a Splinter Twin combo. Jason Mind Sculptor and Karanos are going to be alternate win conditions that can help us clean up some of Todd's more annoying creatures. Kozilek's Return is not as good of Anger of the Gods in this matchup because he is able to put his creatures above 2 toughness on the regular, and some of his 3 toughness creatures don't die to it. However, I want a Kozilek's Return as a clean answer to things like Edge Champion, which normally gave Splinter Twin decks quite a bit of trouble. We're going to bring in a Fork Bolt to help clean up some of the smaller 1 toughness creatures, and then a couple of copies of Blood Moon, because if Todd's not able to draw an Ether Vial, Blood Moon is one of the most powerful cards against humans.
With game 2, we're going to be the one on the 6-card hand this time. My first 7 was just a 5-lander with an Ether Vial. I was going to get it done. Here, we're going to need some more lands, but we got some fast pressure if we can get it, so hopefully our Scry can help us out. And we do have another land, so we're going to be keeping that. So this should hopefully work out just fine.
All right, my side, we have a pretty solid opener. Let's just hope that it's enough to get the job done.
Okay, so we have a Ziggurat and a Noble.
All right, no Ether Vial. I think I want to just attack Todd's mana, especially considering the card we drew. So we're going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt your Noble Hierarch and slow him down. I'm going to go to 18.
Okay. All right, I'm going to lead with a Meddling Mage and name... I think I just want to still just name Lightning Bolt. So,
okay,
go ahead.
Go. We could bluff a remand by playing the Steam Vents untapped, but I'd rather just not take the damage, honestly.
All right, Lieutenant.
Yep.
Time to get in there for 3.
Yep, I'm at 15.
Your turn.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and play Blood Moon.
Yikes.
And he does have a plane, so he can still cast Morthaw's Lieutenants, Champion of the Parish, but since he doesn't have Ether Vial, he's not going to be able to cast very much after this. That is one of the cards I was most afraid of, but... We're not dead yet. We're going to take, 5 or 6?
Yep.
Down to
6.
9. Mm-hmm.
All right, so hopefully this gets me there. It's about all I got.
Yep. Go.
Combat.
Let's tap the Lieutenant.
So I can attack with both. And basically sacrifice my Lieutenant to deal 3 damage. Put you down to 6. That's probably not going to get us there, but I don't really see us winning anyway, but that's probably not the way to win, so I'll pass.
Okay. I'm going to deal 1 and 1. Go to 19.
Should have sacrificed it.
Yeah, your turn.
Go to combat.
Yep. Block.
All right, so you take 3, go to 6. Your turn.
2 more turns to draw a land. Play not.
Yeah.
Bottom. Let's go and play another Blood Moon. There you go. Let's hope you don't have Dismember. Although I'm pretty sure he would have dismembered a while ago to get in more damage. So.
Yeah, like I would probably dismember right here for lethal.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Right, but I mean, you could have drawn it this turn, and killed me. But I'm saying, like, there's no reason to be afraid of it. Not only because if you played it, I would just be dead.
Yeah,
but we'll go for this.
Yep. Yep. My hand at the time was an image, so I started with a 1-lander, and my first 3 draws were land, so it actually curved out pretty well. But Blood Moon's good.
Blood Moon good.
This is one of the kind of hands that I don't like keeping, but we're going to keep here. I really want to have a Noble Hierarch or an Ether Vial, and we have Champion, so we still have a 1-drop, so it's still a keep, but it's my least favorite of the 1-drops, my least favorite kind of keep.
Okay, my side, we have a pretty interactive opener, so I'm going to keep it and hope that we draw into combo stuff.
Okay, well, I'm going to say Human and play Human.
Okie doke. I will say go.
I will say Human and play Human.
I guess I will go ahead and I'm gonna take 3. I'm just gonna lightning bolt this.
Okay. Maybe I should phantasmal image that Thalia so I can make it cost 2 more.
Oh, I wish.
Okay.
All right,
All right, so you're at 17.
17.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna island pay 2. I'm gonna 4-ball 1 and 1. This is
Yikes.
mostly to play around Thaw's Lieutenant. I'm at 16.
All right, meddling mage.
Yep.
And I've already seen a lightning bolt and a fork bolt. I think I'm still just going with lightning bolt. Definitely thinking about saying Etchark here, but I think that we're fine against Etchark. You're good.
All right, I will get an island and play Blood Moon. I'm at 15.
That's probably the card I should have named.
Your turn. As long as you don't draw an Etherval, I think we got this one pretty easily. I'm gonna go to 13, I think.
Yeah, the other 2 fetches.
Shock. Yeah.
Yep, your turn. This Blood Moon, I should have named that one.
All right, we're gonna bounce this. Go.
Go.
If you would like to concede, you're more than welcome to. I will draw 3. Put 2 back, I guess. I'm gonna keep a land. So put this one back and this one back. Go.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I can beat a Jace the Mind Sculptor. I have like a Dismember for something,
Yeah,
but that's
I'm not even
that's
going
not
for
gonna,
the combo this game.
Exactly.
I have
like,
2 snaps and a click and a bolt, so I'm just gonna go for the dome and just draw a bunch of cards.
Yep.
And that honestly, and this I want to take a minute to talk about this because this is the reason why Splinter Twin was banned was twofold. It wasn't just because the Splinter Twin deck combo was too powerful.
Mhm.
It was because it could play this control game. This is what the deck did. It could transform into a Blood Moon Jace deck, or it couldn't transform into Jace deck, but it had all sorts of different options. You know, you could play Batter Skull.
Keranos was big.
Keranos was a big deal. You know, when you're splashing another color, you get access to things like Gurmag Angler and Tassiger, and it just allows you to play this completely different game. And then your opponent comes against a control deck with things like Dismember, and it's not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously Blood Moon stole these 2 games, so I don't want to put any neg on humans because they've had trouble against Mardu Pyromancer playing Blood Moon before too.
Right.
Me personally, I've lost to Mardu Pyromancer specifically because of the card Blood Moon multiple times. And if you don't draw an Ether Vial, that's just going to happen. And it just so happens, I think, the blue-red twin decks, if it ever comes back, should be playing some number of Blood Moon in the sideboard, specifically because of Tron and decks, like just a ton of land-based decks, but also it's just good in a lot of the aggressive matchups that could be problematic. But yeah, that's all I want to say. The control deck aspect of this deck is just really powerful, as well as the combo.
Yeah, and basically to that point, when you're playing against Splinter Twin, it forces you to, like, as an opponent, to like keep up mana and instant speed interaction all the time. But then whenever you're doing the control deck stuff, you're just getting so far ahead on mana,
right?
And having the opponent just have to waste cards in their hand that are like removal spells and mana every turn, and that's just so powerful.
No, for sure. I mean, I think Jace Mind Sculptor adds like another element to the deck too, which honestly it might be too good.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a pretty impressive show of force from the Splinter Twin deck.
Mm-hmm.
Game 1 I thought was the most indicative of why the deck was banned. Just the snap reaction of, how are you even in this game? I have 14 creatures in play, you have nothing.
Yeah.
You tap my team twice and then you just kill me out of nowhere. Like, it's kind of BS. Like, I agree in a lot of respects that aspect of Splinter Twin is not my favorite part. I actually love the control deck aspect, as well as having a control deck that has a combo kill finish. That's always been one of my favorite types of archetypes in Magic. And I understand the Splinter Twin is a little too powerful in that regard, but is it more powerful than the things we have access to currently? That's what I'm trying to explore this week as we run Splinter Twin through the gauntlet. What do you think, honestly?
I really do think it is. Like, I think like just the ability to, like we were just mentioning at the very end of that, to like have a different game plan where people have to have, like, okay, let's say when you're playing against Black Red Vengevine, okay, I'm going to have like Graveyard Hate and everything, and that's going to be good. You're playing against like Affinity, you're like, all right, I'm going to have like my Artifact Hate, and when you're playing against Splinter Twin, you're like, well, I need all this creature interaction, but then they're also just going to be a control deck, and then I can't really stop that because I need the creature interaction. If I have like all these counter spells and stuff, they'll just like, for like negates and everything or whatever, like for trying to stop control deck stuff, they'll just like, kill me with this combo. And
yeah, and it's wild because the Splinter Twin deck was very popular, but it wasn't any more popular than any other archetype. I would say the height of its popularity, it was maybe 8 to 10% of the field, and I think that's a generous assumption. But the real problem with Splinter Twin, I think, and the reason why it got banned is because it won like every modern Pro Tour.
Yeah.
And even though there was like usually one Splinter Twin deck in the top 8, it would just come out on top, and it would kind of play this game where in the pre-sideboard games, most decks are very linear. They don't have a lot of interaction. The Splinter Twin deck would just win. After sideboard, you get powerful options like Blood Moon. You can board into a more controlled deck, and then the interaction that your opponent will be bringing in for that combo just gets blanked.
Yeah,
and they don't have to assemble the combo early in the game. They don't have to assemble the combo at all, as long as they have a reasonable backup plan. And the first iteration of these blue-red control decks that had Splinter Twin in them were revolutionary for the archetype, because you no longer had to rely strictly on the 2-card combo to kill your opponent, and you could instead just bolt them out with Snapcaster Mage bolts, attacking with Vendilion Click, even attacking with Pestermite. I know that me personally, I've played versions of Splinter Twin that played more Pestermites than Deceiver Exarch because I wanted to get my beat down on. And in a lot of scenarios, like a 2/1 flyer that can tempo tap a creature during combat, or just tap your opponent's upkeep on their 3rd turn, keeping them off of a 3-drop, was just very powerful.
Yep.
So there's a lot to unpack when it comes to the card Splinter Twin, just how it shapes not only how your opponent interacts with you, but how it shapes the metagame. Decks like Jund become a lot better. Decks that have a lot of interaction as well as can put a lot of pressure on the opponent, because those are the decks that really give Splinter Twin a lot of trouble. And we saw a fall off of Jund recently in the past year or so, because they don't really have that many decks to prey on. There's not really much Infect anymore. There's not really a Splinter Twin deck anymore. And honestly, Jund just kind of gets beat by a lot of the big mana stuff. I think even Jeskai control, blue-white control just put a lot of pressure on Jund to hit everything.
Yeah, and I think what really killed Jund is people figured out that humans actually beat Jund. People were playing Jund at first to beat humans, then people figured out, well, actually these Tarmogoyfs and Scavenging Oozes are not going to get done against Reflector Mage and the flyers and everything. But
and now with Militia Bugler, it's even harder, so I completely get that. But that's going to be all for me and Mr. Stevens today. We're going to continue this run through the gauntlet for Splinter Twin. It's not looking good. I really wanted Splinter Twin to lose a few so I could have some sort of argument, but that was an impressive showing. Obviously, Blood Moon stealing 2 games, the Splinter Twin combo stealing a game. I never felt like I was ever really that far ahead, except maybe game 3.
Yeah, and now having Jace with the deck too. That's really good.
Anyway, that's going to be all for me, Mr. Stevens. Thanks for watching the Versus series by StarCityGames.com, and we'll see you tomorrow.